what do you like?
We have a great section of do-it-yourself.
Do you like to do it yourself?
Sometimes. I mean, if the mood strikes.
How is the mood striking you now?
Hi, I'm Fritz Schantz, Director of Multimedia Services at the Maryland Attorney General's Office. Today I'm going to be showing you a few things that I've done to make video in an affordable way, DIY techniques and things that I've built that you can probably build too. This is just going to be a short 3 to 5 or maybe 10, 15-minute video, whatever it turns out to be, that Marjorie asked me to make because I won't be coming to the conference this year. I'm sorry, by the way, that you had to endure that horrible opening, but Alan Brody forced my hand. Another thing, when I was at the last conference, I showed everybody a teleprompter that folds up and can be used on a laptop or with an iPad or whatever. I've given that to David Paulson to bring with him, and the first person that wants it and goes up to him and says, "Go Bama, roll tide," he will give it to you. So I hope you're having a good conference, and I'll see you later. Okay, in this video I'm using a Canon digital video camera that our office bought for this purpose. You need to get one. If you buy a camera, make sure to get one with an external mic jack. I'm using a lavalier mic here, which makes a big difference in sound quality. For lighting, I'm using 2 clamp-on Home Depot utility lights that have 5000K. That's the light temperature. That's a daylight bulb in them because most cameras can white balance to that. I'm also, notice I had napkins taped on the front of them. If I lift those, you'll see quite a difference in the harshness of the light. I'll lift the other one. Okay, now the light is really pretty stark. Put those filters back down, and it's back to a nicer, softer light. Sorry, I'm doing this all myself. This is DIY after all. I'm also using a hair light, which is a smaller 5000K compact fluorescent light. And what that does is lights the top of the head and the shoulders to bring the subject out from the background. Here's an example of using just available overhead fluorescent light. As you can see, the color is off and the shadows are all down, putting shadow in my eyes and stuff. So it helps a lot to just take a little extra time if you don't have available daylight, if you have to shoot inside, to just set up a couple lights. Okay, so this is a lighting kit that I got on Amazon, or my work got me. It has a hair light, which is just a highlight that has a sandbag to counterbalance it. Comes with 2 softbox lights, both with their own light stands, and a backdrop stand, which is basically 2 stands and a pipe across the top to hang different backdrops. The kit came with a green screen, a black, and a white backdrop. Okay, if you can't do a lighting set, they're about $170. You could fashion something like I've done here. I've used a old projector screen tripod, took it apart, and I created a collapsible This piece of wood comes out, and each of these bars hold lights. So what I've done here is I've made a light from some old foam core and put a reflector in it that has it's foil lined, and you can see it's just taped onto the base, and it's a clip-on light from Home Depot without the reflector on it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I've just glued that foil right onto the foam core. And this is my diffuser, because if you don't use it, the light tends to be a little harsh. Turn it on again. See, without that, that's pretty brutal. So this is a lighting stand, DIY, super cheap. Alright, so this is another version of a DIY light that you can make. Incidentally, with all these lights, I try to use a 5000K bulb because those are easy to white balance too. And it's all the same around the studio. And it has a diffuser to mellow the light down a little bit. The idea here is to, if you just use a regular reflector, you waste a lot of the light. I'm trying to keep light from going out to the sides and trying to focus it on my subject. Tripods are very useful tools in and outside the studio. This one is a gorilla pod, or a spider tripod. It's nice because it fits in a camera bag and can clamp onto just about any tree branch or pipe or whatever. This one is a small telescoping tripod that's good for using tabletop when there's like a training or some other close quarters things where you can't fit a big tripod. This is a full-size tripod. It has a fluid head for smooth pan and tilt operation. It's the workhorse of the studio, and I use it to get the camera up in the air when the subject is standing like this. This tool is called the Poor Man's Steadicam. You'll see it's just a tripod with the legs cut off and a 5-pound weight glued on the bottom of the aluminum shaft. This is used to help attenuate motion in a camera when you're doing things out in the field. Okay, this is running through the office. Morning, Kat. With the camera not on a Steadicam. Hey, Deb. Now running through the office with the Steadicam. It works pretty good. All this testing's getting me tired. These are the cameras I've managed to collect over the last 9 years. First one is the Canon Vixia HFR10 camcorder, it's a digital camcorder. It has an external mic jack, which is very important. However, this camera does have a motor noise when you don't use the external mic jack. The autofocus makes noise in the audio. The Canon EOS Rebel XTI is a still camera. We use that, for telephoto. And the Canon EOS 60D is the latest one we've gotten, and that's video capable. And that's of all of the video cameras I have, that's the only one that actually is capable of broadcast quality. Although we never actually do that. But these are all versatile cameras, and this is what we use. Alrighty then, time to talk about teleprompters. This is the first model I built. It was a big box, and it was very bulky and difficult to carry around. It had its own monitor, so it needed a power source, but it worked. It was good for a first effort. The second one we built was smaller and more compact, easier to carry, still had its own monitor, and still needed a separate computer and power source. We got into a fold-up one that I showed last year that uses you just set it on top of the laptop, and here it is in action. So I put that on there. Just set this on the computer monitor. And hit the space bar to turn the software on, and it starts scrolling. So there is the teleprompter. The camera looks through the back of that, and the talent reads the text. Some of you remember from last year the handy dandy porta prompter that I made and showed you. This year I've upgraded. So this is the one from last year. I just want to show you how it is, what it looks like. It's sitting on a laptop. Right now I have it on a tripod. But this is the unit. And it displays text and the camera looks through the glass to record the video. This is the latest version of the teleprompter. It uses an iPad. Just set it on here. I have these little things that come up and hold the screen in place. And this uses a keyboard, external Bluetooth keyboard that I can start and stop the content with. This keeps me untethered from there, and I can do this from all the way across the room. So it's nice because I can be off to the side and the Attorney General can talk and I can just do this. So I'll give a spin around.
Hello, I'm Maryland Attorney General Doug Gansler. Thanks for coming to the 2012 NAG PIO conference. I'm recording this message to demonstrate how we use our teleprompter to record our monthly office updates and other talking head videos. I am presently reading this text to you for the first time through a teleprompter that we built for less than $15. Using the teleprompter increases our efficiency, reducing retakes and editing time. I'm a relatively busy guy, but my staff writes video scripts for me, allows me to focus my energy more on delivery without having to master the content beforehand. Fritz controls the scroll speed of the text I'm reading and pauses it when I ad-lib off script, which I am prone to do quite often. State budgets are tight everywhere, as they are here in Maryland. This DIY teleprompter saved my office a lot of money and improved the quality and ease of production of our videos. I hope you can use some of the tips Fritz is sharing with you today to improve your in-house media productions in a low-budget environment.
All right, so what we have here is a portable lectern or podium. Sometimes we have press conferences that are at places where they don't have one of these, and these things are kind of big and bulky, so it's nice to have a lightweight one you can just throw in the car. We made some graphics that just go on little hooks on the front. They hook to the bottom with rubber bands, so it gives it a little bit of, get knocked around by the wind a little bit and doesn't get torn up. So this one is something I made, but they are commercially available, and it makes some press conferences a lot easier. This is a technique called green screening or chroma keying. I have a green backdrop behind me. I have lights on both sides that are lighting the backdrop, and one light in front of me that's lighting me. It's important for me to be standing in front of the beam of these lights. If I step back too far, I get too lit. So, and I don't want to cause any shadows on the back of this green screen. The most important thing is to make sure that that is an even color wash across there with as little dark or light spots as possible. So that's why I have a light on both sides. You can see how this setup is. And then I have this hair light that I'm modifying as my subject light. So it's pretty simple. This is all that comes with that kit, the lighting kit that I mentioned. Chroma keying is a video effect that I use in Adobe Premiere that's available in most video editing software programs. I would suggest that whatever you're using, I would pull up a YouTube video on how to chroma key with that. It'll give you instructions. Now here's an example of a time when I was very glad that I was able to chroma key.
Hello again. We just completed our second environmental audit of the year, which included
So you might be like, what the hell do I need green screening for? Well, in my case, I needed it when I shot the Attorney General on location and neglected to check the focus on my camera. So you can imagine my shock and horror when I got back to the studio and found a completely blurry image. Luckily, I had the green screening set up and I had the Attorney General come back into my studio and just reshot the segment over the top of a green screen and composited him onto a still that I had taken of the front of the building. It worked, not perfectly, but better than having to travel back out to do the shot. We recently did a moot court with Skype. I set this system up with a projector and a screen, and you'll see that's a 30 by 40 sheet of foam core as a screen, and a Microsoft LifeCam webcam connected to a laptop. This worked really well for a group of people to have, one guy up life size on a screen from, a remote location. All right, so for software, mostly what I use is the Adobe Creative Suite 6, the Master Collection. That is not a cheap software, but I use it a lot, and for me it was worth asking my office for it. A couple things I want to tell you about is Applian Technologies is the best $79 you can spend for this kind of stuff. I use it all the time for capturing videos, like capturing YouTubes from the internet and converting videos between formats and stuff like that. And as I said, it can record the audio and video together of a Skype conversation. Also, the teleprompter software we use is from DV Video. And it's free. There's tons of different kinds of apps out there, but it happens to be the one that we use.
10-4, we're finished and powering down.